Mm.
Hello, welcome, Merry Meets. We are two friends, Med,
And Emma.
revisiting our love for all things witchy, magical, and paranormal.
This podcast is us feeling our way through exploring all the possibilities, and we'd like to invite you along for the journey. Before we delve into this episode, in our last episode, we were talking all about dreams, and we gave ourselves a challenge of seeing if we could do any lucid dreaming or, you know, maybe something else might have come about that we can share with you. So, Med, did you manage any?
Unfortunately, I don't have much to share. I have been overcome with my son's health issues since the last episode. Thankfully, we've kind of come out, not fully out the other end, but um, his hospital appointment went really well, so we're feeling more hopeful. Um, but because of my uh, life and family health issues, I have not had a chance to do anything I planned to do, which is why I think everyday magic is so important because it's the little things that you can always fit in, hopefully, no matter how hard life is at the time. But it's still something I'm very much interested in doing.
Well, I'm glad you're coming out the other side of all of that. Um, I've I have been trying to lucid dream, um, not very successfully. I've been working with my crystals and setting the intentions of being able to lucid dream when I go to bed. But it's not happened for me yet. And I'm kind of thinking if, my mum can do it, some of that might have been passed down to me. So eventually I will I'll work it out. But it's fun trying anyway. And I will definitely update everyone when it does happen.
That's great that you've been putting the focus into it. Have you noticed like any difference in your dreams at all, even though you've not had lucid dreaming?
Um to be honest, not really. I've been struggling with my sleep recently anyway. And that tends to kind of muck up my dreams and how those appear to me. So I'm hoping now I'm a bit more settled again. So yeah, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, I think you've definitely got to find the right time. If you're struggling with sleep anyway, I don't think that it's a time to try and kind of manipulate your sleep in any way because you just need the sleep first, don't you?
It's this heat. It's a, yeah, we're actually recording this, so it's the 1st of July and it's blooming hot out there.
I don't know how hot it is where you are, but where I am, it's 35 degrees today.
That is crazy. I actually haven't looked to see what the temperature is here, but it's all I can say is it's hot. I know we may with perimenopause either.
I know we may have listeners that aren't in the UK and maybe 35 doesn't seem ridiculous to you, but to me here, just know I am dying.
We're not set up for it here, are we? Years ago I went on holiday to Kuala Lumpur and it's so hot there that they're just set up for it. Everywhere we went had air conditioning and, in the pools outside and things like that. So you can actually escape the heat. But here, you just can't escape it. I'm sat here with an ice pack on my neck, a fan on me. So sorry if there's any noises in the background. And I'm still hot. But hey, who's complaining? At least we've got sunshine at the moment.
No, I'm complaining. I don't want the sunshine. But I also don't want to wish away my time. So I'm trying to enjoy every season as it comes, but summer is definitely not my favourite. Anyway, onwards.
Onwards, yay.
Okay, so welcome to this episode of Which Way Next. In this episode, we'll be diving into one of our favourite kinds of magic, The everyday kind, the little rituals, habits, and quiet moments that weave witchcraft into our normal, sometimes messy, human lives. Because not every spell needs a full moon and a dramatic cloak, though we do love a cloak. Sometimes it's in your morning cuppa, a whispered intention, or the way you pick your jewellery for the day. This is the kind of magic that fits into your pocket, your planner, or your lunch break. The stuff that doesn't look flashy, but still feels powerful. So whether you're listening in your garden, on the school run, or hiding from the world in your duvet fort, we're glad you're here. Let's get into the magic that lives in every day.
So there's lots of, as you said, there's lots of different things we do throughout our day that brings us magic, doesn't it? Or we may not realize that we're actually doing something that's having some sort of magical um, change on our lives. So, where do we start? Should we start with the morning? Do you have any rituals that you start the day with?
So I do have morning rituals for sure. It's hard to distinguish when you're first in your witchy journey what things you're doing that you would say are intentionally witchy and what things you would say are just part of your routine that lift you, get you ready for the day. But I would say that as I've developed my skills as a witch and started living it as a lifestyle, that it's kind of one in the same. I think that you are a witch, so everything you do, if you're doing it with intention and if it adds to your life, then it is a witchy thing to do.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, I wouldn't say I specifically do. I would say that everyday things that you put into your life and your craft need to be like the most witchy things you can think of. They're not big spells. You're not always um, saying, "Oh, I'm doing this as part of my witchcraft." It just becomes part of you. So I would say my smaller things that I kind of do day to day is breath work. I struggle with getting up in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I get myself downstairs. I take a few deep breaths. I always give myself at least 3 really deep breaths first thing in the morning, or just in general if I'm feeling overwhelmed with life. I think that's really important. And definitely a herbal tea. So it depends on the day which one I'm having, and I'm aware of what each tea does for me and brings to me. So I suppose that is intentional. I buy my teas with intention, but I'm not the kind of person who will sit there stirring it 3 times in one direction and saying a specific thing to it. Um, because it's just not a habit that I've managed to put into my day. But but yeah, definitely a herbal tea, breath work, and then if I remember, I'll do a card pull.
Oh, okay. So, um, I have to say, I do drink herbal teas, but first thing in the morning, it's got to be my coffee. And I don't think, okay, it's not necessarily a magical thing, but it's part of my routine. I have my coffee in the morning, and that sets me up for the day, and then everything else kind of falls in behind that. I'm a slow person for getting up in the morning. I can't do this rushing around or anything. So um I just kind of take it easy. So the first thing that I actually do once I've got out of bed and I've sat there, I sit at my mirror and I have my oracle cards with me, and I always draw a daily card every day without fail. Um, just to give me some guidance on the day, really. So, like for today, my oracle card said, so it's a picture of a tree, a very ancient tree with stairs going up to it, and what looks like a a gateway or a doorway through or a portal, and it says ancient stairs, prepare to reach a higher level in your life. And so when you're getting cards like that every day, it kind of sets you up. It puts you on a positive note, and I find it really, yeah, really uplifting to have my do my oracle card in the day. I usually use a crystal as well. So if I'm drawn to a crystal, I will hold that crystal and look at it before I draw my card for the day. And then that crystal will usually sit with my deck all day until I do it again the next day.
I love that. I don't always remember to do well, I don't always feel drawn to do my card first thing in the day. Sometimes I think it's important for me to do it first thing in the day. Sometimes it's more of a guidance when I feel it. Um, or it'll be just before bed if I feel like I've had a particularly hard day, I'm feeling a little bit lost, or I'm worried about the next day, or just general life. Then I find having some time in the evening in my bedroom alone, kind of meditating on it a bit and using my cards for guidance is really helpful for me then. And it means that I kind of clear my head ready for bed and ready to start anew the next day.
Yeah.
I would say my altar is very important to me. So my altar is in my bedroom, and it's a constant connection between myself and my altar. It's where I put all my power. I see my altar as somewhere that I put all my energy and my power into, and in turn, it holds it and returns it to me. So it's a very intentional thing. Um, and so all of my intentions are on my altar. So through the day, when I do pass it, I do touch my altar or I spend a moment with it. Um, and also, I feel like because it's in my bedroom, it's kind of giving me energy through the night while I'm sleeping too.
Yeah, I don't have a permanent altar at the moment. Um, it moves around. I didn't have one at all until recently, and I've actually just oh, I'm terrible for picking up. You know, when people put things on the side of the road and say, "Please take me, I'm free." I was out walking the dog recently, and I discovered this beautiful set of drawers. It's only a small unit thing, and I was like, "That is perfect for my altar." So I carried that all the way up home.
I hope it wasn't a hot day like this.
It was reasonably hot, and yeah, I have chronic back problems. And it probably wasn't the best idea, but I was determined. I was like, "This is mine. It's meant to be." So I have got my new altar that I'm going to start using properly. I just haven't had a chance to sort it out. Um, but yeah, I think that's something that I would like to bring more of into my life and making that part of a ritual. And um, I think sometimes that if you don't have ritual in your life, a daily ritual, you can get a bit lost. I mean, I've found I don't know what day it is. I don't know. People are probably don't know that I'm I don't work full time because I'm off with chronic pain and I'm a carer as well. So your days can go a bit, they're a bit weird, and having routine or ritual in your day is really helpful. So that's something that I'm trying to bring more of into my life. And be more intentional with my days because again they can just slip away without you realizing.
Yeah, I agree. Firstly, about your altar, when you sent me the photo of that altar, I was like, that was definitely meant for you.
Yeah.
And it reminds me actually of my little unit that I got from Facebook Marketplace and put in front of my main altar as part of my altar. And yeah, I could tell straight away it was your altar. So yeah, I'm glad that you found each other. And yes, I totally agree. I no longer work full time. I am a carer for my disabled children also. And yeah, you can get a bit lost if you haven't got any type of ritual in your life. So I think it's important to have some rituals. However, I don't hold myself to my rituals. I used to be an over planner and want to overachieve and do a lot. And I'm really focusing now on slower living. And so, but that is, I find even harder. It's a very intentional thing to commit to slowing down and not trying to do so many things in a day when you've got a list of 1,000 things in your head. I mean, obviously, I'm ADHD too, so this is it. But yeah, when you've got a million things that need doing, another 10,000 things you'd love to do, and then you're saying to yourself, slow down and don't try and do everything at once. It's difficult, which is why the other rituals I do are so important because they're very much focused around breathing, relaxing, grounding. These are things that don't come naturally to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's you don't have to be really, really strict on it. You know, if I don't pull a card for the day, and it does happen occasionally because, you know, something happens and you get distracted, don't you? I don't beat myself up if I haven't done it, and I'll just pick it later in the day if I get the chance, and take it from there. But it is that, you know, it's also recognizing that you've got those magical moments in your day as well, because you can be doing all sorts of different things. Like for me, I we have to walk the dog, so that gets me outside. And on my walks, I, with intention, look for things that bring me joy. So, you know, I will notice the tiniest bug on a leaf about 6 foot away that people are like, "How the hell did you notice that?" Or, you know, with our hagstone hunting, recently, Med and I went away for a weekend with our friend, and I was on the beach, and immediately I spot a hagstone. It's like, how do you do that? But it's like you get it's kind of pattern recognition at the end of the day, but those are things that bring me joy, and I look at them and they bring me excitement, you know? I don't You don't need to take me on a roller coaster to make me feel happy and excited. I It's just recognizing things in nature around me, that little bug, a lovely flower, you know, a feather, and I often collect them and bring them home as magnificent from my collection of rocks from our holiday.
I mean, I love collecting things and finding things in nature as much as the next kind of spiritual person, but you are really like a toddler.
I have to have my pockets emptied out at the end of the day.
I do admire your knack for finding hagstones. I think that definitely hagstones are attracted to you for sure. And yeah, I think I've only ever found one myself. The rest have been found by you.
Awful. We were at a concert at the weekend, and they've got gravel all over the floor. Here I am, like looking out for anything, a pretty rock. Yeah, and I did bring one home because it was super smooth and lovely.
Oh yes, our witchy tip of the week. Pick up the gravel.
It goes back to when I was at school because we used to have nature tables, and I pretty much was the person who kept those nature tables running.
Can't imagine.
But it was just lovely. In a way, that was like our introduction to having an altar as a child.
Yeah.
You know, the teachers probably never even thought of it like that. But you're bringing in things and you're celebrating the joy of nature, aren't you? It's all there. It's an altar.
Yeah, it
Whereas
is.
everywhere in my house is an altar and my garden because all those rocks and feathers and things have somewhere to go and it's everywhere.
I think a lot of my witchy journey is about expressing myself, about feeling who I am and being authentic to myself. And a lot of that is done with the way we dress as well. So, way back when I wasn't 100% happy with myself or felt like I needed to conform, I would wear a lot of black. I still like to wear black because I find it flattering and I just like dark colours sometimes anyway. But I think I'm very well known for my colourful clothes now, particularly my long colourful dresses. Obviously, we've talked about our love for popsy dresses recently, but mine goes to before that as well. I've always liked Joe Brown's or just any dress I find from anywhere that I can't always afford Joe Brown's or popsy, unfortunately. So, yeah, even the one I'm wearing now is from Shein and it is black, but it's also got a lot of colour on it. I love all my flowery things. I love anything that shows my personality, but is in what I wear. And I think that we can dress ourselves intentionally to um, exude the kind of magic that we want to bring to ourselves. So obviously, there's color magic. There's perfumes that have like particular ingredients in it that are good for certain things in witchcraft and just in general. Like if you were to use lavender, it would be great for stress, etc. So there's so many ways we can bring that intention into our daily lives.
Yeah, just creating that little bit of extra magic with what you're wearing,
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I do exactly that. I'm the same as you. I went through a goth stage, and I went through a I'm not very confident stage as well. So I was just wearing ordinary clothes for work and nothing that would make me stand out because I felt quite shy. And but I'm now at a stage in my life, and I think that's maybe it's something you do hit when you sort of get past midlife. I'm in my perimenopause stage. You start thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I hiding? Why am I trying to conform? Let's let's just dress in things that make us happy. It's like if I was out and I saw someone wearing a beautiful dress or unusual clothing, it it just makes me happy. And so I thought, well, I can do that myself. So not only are you're dressing for yourself, but with intention to make yourself feel better by wearing prints that mean something to you. You'll probably notice a lot of my dresses, yeah, popsy dresses, which I'm addicted to, um, have a very like kind of a nature theme to them because nature brings me happiness. And so when I wear those dresses, um, it just brings me it's that little spark of magic and joy. And that rubs off on other people as well. So, amount of times I'm out wearing my dresses and with my colourful hair and everything, and you have someone come up to you and are in awe of it, and it's just lovely that you've made someone else smile as well. So yeah, you definitely dress with intention for your day, and it will make a hell of a difference to your life. Um, and and again, like you said about wearing perfumes with intention, perfumes make you feel happy. There's certain scents that we're drawn to. I work quite a bit with aromatherapy oils, and you've probably heard me say before, lavender is one that is really great if you're anxious. So generally, I have some lavender with me. My perfume isn't lavender, but I do have lavender with me to help with my anxiety. So, um, yeah, and that's all magic. It really is.
I agree. I
Um,
think it makes so much difference to how you feel when you are wearing something that makes you feel more positive about yourself or just generally uplifts your mood.
mm. It
Um,
can. I think it can be difficult though for some people because at the moment we're free. We're not work. Excuse the noise in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. We've got a really loud motorbike went past then, but um, so like we can wear what we like at the moment because we aren't working for an employer, and but it must be quite hard for people that are working in offices and have to wear a particular outfit. And I wonder if there's ways that they can bring magic into their lives.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's also making sure you don't get into that kind of rut where because you have to dress away a certain way for work, that's kind of becomes your personality and that's how you dress all the time. You need to be able to kind of find your identity when you can. And there are ways definitely to include it in like your corporate wear for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can always remember when I was at school trying to add something in that was my personality and getting into trouble for it.
Isn't that just a crazy concept that because you tried to have personality, you got in trouble? I'm sorry, I hate the school system.
Yeah. And I've had lots of jobs where we've had to wear uniforms and things. And I mean, I can understand it's nice sometimes feeling part of the crowd, but you don't want to lose that personality. Um, I guess you can wear some nice, pretty knickers or socks that they can't understand. But yeah, I wonder what else. Is there anything else that, like when you were working, did you do anything whilst you were at work to bring magic to your day?
I've always dyed my hair different colours, and I've been lucky enough that I haven't had an employer that's not been happy for me to dye my hair. To be honest, if they were unhappy for me to dye my hair, they would have heard about it, and I probably wouldn't have stayed. I've always been somebody who doesn't conform to rules that do not make sense to me. So
Yeah.
I don't see how my hair affects my performance in any way. So I've always dyed my hair pretty colours.
Oh, but it's
Mm.
so distracting to everyone else.
And particularly as I work with children, they love colours.
Oh, they do.
So yeah, it was always popular with the children. So and I think it's important also to demonstrate to children as their role models that we don't all have to be the same. We all are all individual and you can express yourself. So I think even more so working in childcare, showing my individualism, I feel is important to me because I worked with children for the reason that I wanted to inspire them and show them that they can be happy in their own skin. So I wouldn't have been happy working in a nursery where I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I worked with children as well, and there were rules that we had to abide by, but I pushed the boundaries a little bit, and but then I would find other things, like I'd wear really big fancy earrings and stuff like that, and the kids loved it. I used to have children draw pictures of me, and they were always of me wearing massive earrings.
I love that. I mean, there were certain things I couldn't do. Like, for instance, you're saying the big earrings. I often worked in a baby room. So
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
wear earrings because it was a safety issue. So where those rules in place for an important reason, that's completely fine. It's when my hair color isn't going to do anything. However, sometimes it was better to have it tied up because I was working with babies, for example.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never had fake nails because I did work with babies. I didn't want to catch them with my nails, things like that. Um, and yeah, so I'm all fine with rules, but when it's not going to affect anything, I think it's better to have a little bit of personality. I don't think we should all be exactly the same.
No, no. So, are there ways people can sneak in a bit of magic into their workplace?
So they can definitely use sigils or runes and add them onto their planners or on the inside of their planners if they wanted to, and no one would be none the wiser. Um, on their devices, on the bottom of their mug.
Those sound like really good ideas, actually. I think sometimes you do need to sort of protect yourself at work and it might actually look like, um, using things like sigils, which are really easy to do, without anyone really noticing, or even maybe, you know, using a protection, spell necklace like we spoke about in was it episode 1 or 2? 2,
Mm.
episode 2. Um, but it's also and it's that having, boundaries as well, you know, putting in, boundaries from it could be from people, or it could be from, actually doing their work as well, as in taking those breaks that you absolutely deserve, you know. Leave the office for 5 minutes, go and have a walk around and, get back in touch with nature and look for those little bits of joy.
Yeah, definitely getting into nature on your lunch break, grounding, taking your shoes off even, grounding in I don't know if you have a work garden or an outside space near you, definitely take advantage of it. Finding ways to be in touch with your authentic self and our authentic nature, which is not this fast-paced working life. But unfortunately, a lot of us are stuck in that life. Um, Definitely finding time in between to live authentically and slowly is important.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and if you're into your crystals, take some if you've got just take some crystals that are gonna help you. Might be that they give you they can help you with things like your confidence and, your creative ideas and that kind of thing. So again, you bring in some little bit of magic into your daily work life.
You just reminded me. So, when I did work in a high stress environment, I always had amethyst in my bra. So, amethyst for me, it absorbs all of your stress, it takes away all of your anxiety. And it also just made me feel like I've got something physically there that is supporting me. It was always tucked in my bra. And I thought it's the best way to have it on me where it's not interrupting my day. No one knows it's there. It's close to my heart. And it was my little kind of defense to external, what's the word? External energies um, that were affecting me. I didn't always have the best bosses. And then once I became the boss, I didn't always have the best staff. The children, however, were lovely.
Always.
So
Yeah.
I think, sorry, go on.
No, you carry on.
So I think having that was before I was really practicing witchcraft in an intentional way, but I always did have a crystal in my bra.
I did think about you, on Saturday. I went to a crystal workshop at this it's a lovely little shop local to me called Cadu, and, yeah, it was a brilliant little workshop, but they did actually mention keeping the crystal in your bra, so I did think about you on Saturday. Had a
Appreciate
bit of giggle to myself.
It's just such an easy way to hold it close to you and conceal it.
Yeah. Just don't wear it when you're in airports and things like that. You get patted down.
Sorry, that's just my crystal.
Oh dear. So, is there anything that you do at home? Like, we've got, people that consider themselves kitchen witches will do things like they'll stir their food with intention and that kind of thing. Do you do any of that?
I think we touched on this in the last episode, if I think rightly, or one of the episodes. I remember
Have to
talking about I can't remember what we were talking about, but I remember saying, and this answer still remains, the kitchen is not my happy place anymore. It used to be. Now it is a stressful place where I have to make like 5 different meals for my autistic household, and I haven't got the patience to be there intentionally adding affirmations. I mean, maybe some swear words would be more appropriate into
Yeah.
my meals.
That sounds pretty much like mine as well. I'm terrible with the kitchen. It stresses me out, and yeah, so maybe that's something we don't we won't go into any further. I'm sure other people are more successful with their intentional cooking and things like that.
That aside, though, I just thought of it. I do have things that I have in the kitchen to infuse the room with more positive energy. So I've got really into looking after plants. It's been an intentional thing. I am not a naturally green fingered person. And I think I've talked about that previously too. I've now got thriving plants all along my windowsill in the kitchen, and they definitely uplift me when I'm in there and make me feel kind of happier in the space. And also it makes me feel more that I'm able to create something and do it well, even though maybe not the meals so much, but the plants definitely. And I do also have an area in my kitchen where I've hung dried lavender, sage. I've made some kind of nature inspired little hangy things there in my kitchen. So my kitchen is witchified. I
Yeah.
just wouldn't call myself a kitchen witch.
No, no, me either. I did used to have a kitchen witch hanging up in my kitchen. Lots of people see them as good luck for their cooking. So I used to have one of those. I don't at the moment, probably because when I decorated it was probably covered in cobwebs and I took it down. But yeah, I think that's something you can do. Maybe I need to put my kitchen witch back. Maybe that's why
That's
I
where
have
it all
such a
went wrong.
that's where it went
I
wrong with
need a
the
kitchen
kitchen.
witch.
Oh, I'm gonna do it, definitely. I
Yeah,
have
do it and then report back in the next.
well, I made some. I used to make and sell them, so I really ought to hang one of those up, the ones that I've made, because they were made with intention and, I mean, actually all my crafts, bring a little bit of magic into my daily life, so that's another thing people can think about, you know, bringing a little bit of witchcraft, do it with things you make. If you give something, make that with intention to give to the person. But yeah,
Mm.
definitely going to get my kitchen witch back out and hung up, and hopefully I'll get my cooking mojo back.
I love to express myself with my home decor, and where I've not been 100% set in the house that I'm in, it's something that's taken me a while to actually do to like put my mark on this house. But that's another thing I've been doing intentionally. So I've been adding more and more to my home to make it my witchy place and a place that reflects me and protects my family, etc. So I've made, well, I had these in place a long time ago, but I've got witch balls that I have near the front door for protection. I have another little protection hanging thing. Can't remember what they're called. It's got herbs and stuff on it, which I have upstairs as well. So when people pass the stairs, the landing, it kind of blesses them. And obviously, I have my altar in my bedroom. So throughout my house, there's kind of things I've intentionally infused energy in um, to protect my house and to protect the people that live in it, my family.
Did you
But
ever make the witch's bells?
no, I've got them sitting right here, ready to do with a load of other crafts I've brought.
Oh, that fell over.
That was weird.
Telling you, you need
It
to
was
make
like, well,
them.
bloody do it then.
Yeah,
So for those of you
exactly.
who can't see, as I said no, my witches kind of book. It's a witches magazine. It's called Witches, and it's a magazine, and it's absolutely amazing. And there's loads of stuff in there I also want to do, and that's why it's up there to remind me to blooming do it. But as I said no, it fell over just randomly. So
Yeah,
if you heard it,
it's a
yeah,
sign.
it was like, well, do it then. I know, I know. Not all of my witchy decor is like an intentional kind of. spell thing. Some of it is just gimmicky, and I like it that way. So, for instance, I just brought a lovely little sign off Temu that goes in my porch area, and it says broom parking, which is only, and I love that.
I'm glad you've given me a space to park my broom, finally.
So no fear if you come to visit now. You've got an allocated spot.
Yay. Another thing that I was thinking about, which is,
Which
is, which is, um, kind of bringing magic into your life or into your daily life, should I say, is cleansing. So cleaning things, and whether that's yourself or your environment. And I hadn't ever really thought about it being something that's a kind of a spell work or ritual until recently when I mean, I make altar brushes, which are there, as intention is to actually clear away, any negativity around it and things like that. And when you're doing your housework, you're doing the same thing, aren't you? And how good does it make you feel? I mean, I admittedly don't do a lot of housework at the moment because of my back problems and my hip problems, but when I do get those things done, I feel like you've sort of cleansed your brain a little bit, don't you? And it's whether it's just clearing my bedside tables and my dressing table. It feels so good. It literally does feel like you're getting rid of something negative, and that's magic. It really is.
I definitely agree. I think when we take the time to clear our space and to make it um, look aesthetically pleasing and clear, because my house can get quite cluttered. But once you clear away that clutter, it kind of declutters your brain at the same time. And there's definitely something in that for sure, um, which is why it's definitely something you can do with intention for cleansing. And then obviously there's sage cleansing as well. So that's for clearing the energies and the energetic clutter in your home, which I try to do often. I'm definitely overdue a sage and I need to do it. I'm going to do it this week actually. But yeah, I think that's really important. I wouldn't say I intentionally um, do my tidying with like a witchy spell added to it or anything like that. But some people do. So you can add a spell or an intention into your water before you cleanse your floor and things like that. I did used to once I had tidied my house and I was ready to sweep the floors, I would use salt and put it all over my floor to kind of cleanse the energy, and then I'd sweep with the salt.
Oh, okay.
So that's one thing you can do. A lot of people put kind of salt in the four corners of each room as well, and that's a way to kind of banish negative energies and draw protection in. Yeah, I haven't done those things for a long time, but I used to do them quite a lot. I think actually the reason I've stopped doing those is because I now have rabbits that run around my house. I didn't back then. So yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anyone does use anything like that, I know people use cinnamon and those kind of things. Do check that it's actually suitable to use with any pets that you've got because you don't want to be unintentionally poisoning any of
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Oh, another thing I like to do is I do a door cleansing. Again, I'm overdue it. Can make a special cleansing kind of solution for your door with your intention in it. You can also kind of put this on your door as a rune or a sigil, and then obviously it's going to dry and you won't see it at all, but you know it's there, and you can put your intention into that. And then there's obviously, oh, it's the first of the month today, so we can blow cinnamon into our door,
Yeah.
which I always forget about.
Oh no. Yeah, you can definitely do that today.
Even
Um,
when I post on Woodland Moon Vibes and remind everyone, I still forget to do it myself.
yeah, yeah. I'm now inspired to clean my door as well. I probably haven't done that for a while, so I think what I might do. is clean my door and then do my blow some cinnamon in through it.
That's a good
But
idea. I might do the same actually.
yeah, it's not a daily thing, everyone, honestly. And it doesn't matter really what day either.
No.
If it's, if you miss the first of the month, it's it's not gonna hurt doing it on a different day. The calendar is made up. So, just do it when it feels right for you.
Yes, 100%.
So, is there anything that you do when you're winding down for bedtime that you would class as daily magic or witchcraft?
Yeah, other than the things I mentioned at the beginning, another thing I like to do when I am more focused and able to remember, I'm not great at creating habits, so I do them on and off, but I love doing gratitude journaling. So, writing down 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. I find a great way to kind of end the day. I did have a gratitude journal where I did that at the beginning and the end of the day. Um, but yeah, I haven't been practicing that for a while, but I do still live with gratitude. So I'd say almost daily, I do a gratitude kind of list in my head at least. Um, but it's just not as organized as it used to be.
Yeah, I do gratitude. That's my new thing. I didn't used to do it, and it was something we did on the Popsy group actually. And so I made this gratitude jar, which I've shared on my TikTok. So on my Forest Sprite Crafts TikTok, you can see me talking about it and how I'm making it. And it's literally just a jar that I've decorated. And every day, well, I say every day, I do miss days. Things come up, you know how it is. But I try and make up for that. So if I miss a day, I put two gratitude things in it the following day. So yeah, every single day, and it's a really nice way to end your day by looking at something that's gone well or that you're grateful for. It can be something tiny. Whether that's you had a really refreshing cup of tea, or could be anything, couldn't it?
Yeah, even as
Yeah.
small as having the clean water to make that cup of tea. I think when we're struggling and sometimes we find it hard to find things to be grateful for, I think that stripping back to the bare minimum and being thankful for those things that we take for granted that we forget that not everybody has is so important.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, you can you it's one of those things where you shouldn't be comparing your life to someone else's, and, you know, it if you shouldn't feel guilty for being grateful for something that you've got and someone else hasn't, let's
No,
say.
definitely not. Another thing I find helpful at bedtime, although again I'm guilty for not keeping up with it, is meditation. So obviously that can be done at any point of the day, but the evening just before bed is usually the time I have to myself. So that's the best time of the day for me. And I do feel so much better in myself when I take the time to meditate. Grounding is very important for me. Obviously, I have my ADHD brain. I have so much I'm dealing with day to day. So meditation makes a hell of a difference. So yeah, that's another thing that brings magic to my day when I'm able to do it.
Yeah, meditation, I think if you bring that into your everyday life is really helpful. And I have intention to do it every day, but I don't always. But then, even just sitting for 5 minutes with your, nice herbal tea or something can be just as good as doing an actual meditation or a ritual.
Yeah, I agree. At the moment, I'm spending time in my garden in the evening. I'm sitting with my feet on the ground and I'm just enjoying that peace. And that's kind of my meditative point of the day.
Yeah, and I like nothing better than I make myself a chamomile tea before I go to bed. And that's always made with intention. I always have it, and it makes you feel calm, and you can think about what you've done during your day, and then it's also helping you wind down to have a restful sleep. Maybe not so useful in this heat at the moment, which is why I've not been sleeping well. But yeah, I think it's always good to have things that do have a positive way of winding you down at the end of the day.
So there's so many ways, as we've spoken about, that you can bring kind of intention and witchcraft into your day, or your night. And yeah, I think we've covered a lot of what we do. We'd love to hear what you find works for you. I think it's important to recognize that we don't need to do these things every single day. But some things we will naturally do every day, and it's just bringing that intention into it and recognizing it for the magic that it is.
So please feel free to come on to Facebook, where we've got our community group called Which Way Next question mark community, and we can just carry on this conversation. Let us know what things you do in your daily life that bring the magic, and or if there's things that you didn't even think about that are bringing you magic, and now you can do them with more intention.
Okay, so it's come to that time in the podcast where we play our little fun game, magical this or that. I've got an everyday magic edition for you.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to this.
Okay, so the first one is stirring your tea clockwise for joy or writing affirmations in your journal.
Ooh, okay. Is this, do I do these, or which one would I prefer to do?
So it's this or that.
Wow. Maybe the affirmations one. I think it's always really good to have affirmations. I actually have um some written on a post-it note stuck to my mirror. So I don't actually physically have to write them every day. So I've got on mine, I am abundance, I am success, I am joy. And that's what I look at every single day in the mirror. So I'm reminded when I'm sat here. So yeah, I would probably go for that. So not necessarily in a journal, but definitely affirmations.
Yeah, my answer's pretty much the same. I don't write affirmations in a journal, but affirmations are definitely part of my life. I have an affirmations app called I Am, and that sends me notifications with different affirmations every day. And then on my altar, I actually have two of the same affirmation from a workshop that I went to, where we pulled out an affirmation for ourselves separately. It was a group thing. And then everybody pulled out another affirmation and gave it to someone they felt it was for in the room. Now, bearing in mind the person that gave me theirs didn't see what I pulled, they gave me the exact same one I'd pulled for myself. So I have the same affirmation twice because it was definitely for me on my altar. And
What does it say?
it says, I know my desires are on the way.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what's next?
Wearing crystals in your bra or in your jewellery?
Oh, that's one's very appropriate for today. Um, See, I'm one more for wearing it in my jewelry. And I'm guessing you're going to say the opposite.
I'm not. I do both.
Okay.
So I actually haven't worn a crystal in my bra for a while. I guess I had to conceal it a lot more before because I was working and stuff. Whereas now, in my daily life, I don't have to not wear jewellery. So I have a moss agate crystal that I wear almost daily in a caged necklace. And I have many crystals that I wear in different ways in the earrings and things like that. And I always have crystal bracelets on as well. So
And a nest of them in your bra.
the next one is enchanting your skincare or your socks. I'd just like to say I don't make these questions. My AI bestie, ChatGPT comes up with these.
Hands in your socks or your skincare? Well, to be fair, I barely ever wear socks, particularly in the summer, so I can't enchant those. But I do skincare every day. So, oh, enchant it? In what way? What would I do to enchant it? I just tell it to make me beautiful.
I feel like skincare is a ritual, isn't it? It's definitely something you take time out of your day to intentionally kind of put on yourself, and you do it in a certain way. So it's definitely a ritual and it uplifts you.
Yeah.
I suppose that is the enchantment. But I guess people could write sigils or runes on their skincare products, or they could even put them on their face in that pattern and then rub it in.
Oh, I like that idea.
I hadn't thought of that actually. I might give it a go, see if it makes a difference. I would like to know if any of our listeners enchant their socks. Please do write into us if you do, because I need to know how you do it, why you do it, does it work?
I know people that intentionally wear odd socks, but then that's good luck. So, each to their own. I can't wear odd socks.
I happily wear odd socks. In fact, my son, he's 12 and autistic, and he just loves wearing coloured odd socks, and that was before he knew about the whole odd sock thing that you do for autism. It's just something, it's like a fashion statement for him that he thinks is quite important, so
See, mine's the opposite. With my autism, they've got to be matching. I could not wear odd socks. It would feel weird to me. But then it's like, it's that thing with having odd underwear as well. I've had to intentionally train myself not to worry that my bra doesn't match my knickers.
okay. Daily tarot pull or moon phrase tracker?
I need tarot pull. I mean, at the moment, I'm using oracle cards, but I have used tarot cards in the past. It's nice to have that guidance every day.
I don't know how I'm meant to choose because they are both things I use constantly. If I had to choose one, I'd go
You really struggle with choosing.
they're both very important to me. I'd say I use oracle cards more than tarot. I love my oracle cards, but I also am a worshipper of the moon, and I love doing like my full moon spells. So if I couldn't track the moon, then how would I know? I could look at it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm not choosing. I love them both. I refuse. Okay, the next one. Witchy playlist or silence and incense?
Oh, see, I would think I'm gonna have to say witchy playlist. I love music. It's like I it definitely makes a difference to my mood, and so I think that would be more for me. Whereas incense and silence, now definitely the incense, but nothing's ever silent. And there's lots of things always going through my head. So if it is silent around me, my brain goes into overdrive. So yeah, it's got to be the witchy playlist. Oh, and I don't know if you listen to the Bell Witch podcast. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely brilliant person to add to your witchy playlist on there. Her name is, oh my God, Shannon Pearl. But honestly, you need to go and listen to the Bell Witch podcast anyway, because she's just brilliant.
And also, if you listen to her latest episode, you might hear our trailer on it. It was the first time we had a trailer played in another person's podcast. So thank you so much to her for doing that for us.
Yeah, Swales is the best.
Yes,
love that.
big fans.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so definitely go and have a listen to the episode where she's interviewing Shannon Pearl. Honestly, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So my answer is definitely witchy playlists, although I'm quite put out by the fact that it teams the incense with the silence, because every time I do a spell, I have my sage and dragon's blood incense going and I have my witchy playlist on, which at the moment my favourite person to listen to while doing spell work is Lorena McKennitt. She's absolutely beautiful. Her voice, all of the songs, they just kind of are the embodiment of, they just make me feel like I'm in the zone, ready to kind of get on with it. So, yeah, love that. Okay, are you ready for the final one for this month?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Sigils under your doormat or hidden in your planner?
I don't have a planner. So, under the doormat, I think that's great. I mean, you have a nice protection thing there to stop anyone bringing anything negative in would be, yeah. Yeah, I think under the doormat.
Why don't I have a sigil under my doormat? Why is that never... I've known about it and I've never thought, oh, let me do it. I don't know why I've never done that. I have them on around, no, I have runes around my door number that I made.
Yeah.
I've not done it with my doormat. That's something I'm going to do for definite. Planner, yeah, I have a million planners. I don't keep up with them. I love them though. And every now and then I'll do them for a week or two. I do have planners on my phone that I do use. But I don't really think I can put a sigil in that. So
No. Although on my phone, it's not sigils, but I've changed all of my apps to be called, the folders my apps are in, to be called things that are really positive. So, like, my banking app is in my I am rich folder,
love that.
and my Popsy dresses Popsy shopping, all my shopping apps basically are in one called I am abundant.
I love that. That's such a good idea.
Yeah. So there's lots of other ones as well. I've got all my food ordering apps are under I am nourished.
I like that. That's a really cool idea. I don't put my apps in folders, but
You need to
because
start doing that.
I've done it before, but there's no point because I always just go to the search bar and search what app I want.
Oh,
So
do you?
there's
Oh,
just no
okay.
point in me having the folders.
We are coming to the end of this episode, so we'd like to invite you to join us for a moon moment of reflection. Magic isn't always loud. Sometimes it's in the way you light a candle with intention, how you stir your tea while whispering your hopes, or the way you take one deep breath before the day begins. Your craft doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It's yours. It's lived. It's layered into the ordinary. And that is powerful. So tonight, under this moon, whatever phase she's in, ask yourself, what tiny act of magic have I already done today without even realizing? Thank you for listening to this episode and being part of our journey. To continue the conversation, we invite you to join us on our Facebook group, Which Way Next Community. You'll be asked the questions, what are the names of the hosts? The answer is Med and Emma.
You can also find us on our Facebook page, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. If you want to get in touch to share a listener story, question, or to work with us, our email address is whichwaynext@gmail.com. So I've been Ned.
And I've been Emma. Join us next time where we ask the question, which way next? It's amazing how much those things make a difference, though. It's like, what?
Literally right in the line. It's the small everyday things that make the most difference.
Oh, there we go. That can go into the outtakes. Us, as usual, being synchronized.